So now we've got our first keynote speaker. And this is Daniel Dubois from the H. And he's going to talk about, what are you going to talk about, Daniel? You're going to talk about generalization of the hyperincursive discrete Klein-Gordon equation to real 16 spinors.
Thank you. So I will go to my page where I work. Here it is. You can read it, no problem.
Yeah. Do you want to do it that way rather than using the full screen?
You prefer full screen?
Yeah, I would prefer full screen.
We will try it.
Not full screen, but
Just increase the magnification of the.
Oh, yeah.
that'll be okay.
So down there. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go.
But I mean, I am involved here, and it's better, I said. Well, it's a much page down. Page down.
That works.
I think this
Yes,
arrow.
all the format of my page disappear because introduction is here. Normally it's on the second page.
Okay.
So with equation I will be in two. It's not a so good idea.
No, just do it as you.
So I prefer to be here. But I can suppress perhaps all this, but I don't know how to suppress.
It doesn't matter, we'll just carry on with that.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Pardon? You know how to suppress just?
No, just carry on.
Carry on.
Pardon?
Just don't bother, carry on.
Just
Continue. It's fine.
Continue.
Anyway.
Yeah. We can read it very well, so no problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not works on the nature. The presentation, yes, it's 1 hour, so it's 2, 7, okay. And our presentation is making 2 parts, 2 5. You have the first 5 for today. It is about the hyperincursive discrete equations applied in physics. And the presentation will follow, in fact, my historical way to arrive to the result which will be presented here. And essentially, all start with the preceding Vigier 10, where I presented an hyperrecursive discrete equations applied to the classical harmonic oscillator to the Schrödinger equations and finishing by the Dirac equation. So I will begin. In 2003, Hoff and Mann deduced a real force-Reynolds equation from a stochastic theory. And this stochastic theory works in real numbers and real functions. And Orde, that I met 2 or 3 times in the past years, makes this model on the stochastic theory without relation with quantum theory. So, myself, I work since 28 years on a theory of incursive and hyperincursive systems, which are a source of recursive systems, but with implicit or including future states in the discrete equations. I will show. So, in 2017, in the Vigier, I did use the same real force-Pinors equation from the hyperincursive second order discrete line Gordon quantum relativist equations. In this paper, the Dubois-Ortmann real force-Pinors is general to 3 spatial dimensions because Ort and Mann didn't general their stochastic theory to 3 dimensions, but only in 1 spatial dimension. That some physicists thought that it was not possible to generalize to 3 spatial dimensions, but I made that. And this shows that in fact that the discrete Ryan-Gordon equations in discrete form bifurcates into 4 discrete incursive equations. And these 4 discrete equations are then transformed to real force-Pinors partial differential equations, which can be written under the generic form of the Dirac quantum relativist equations. And in fact, the Dubois-Ortmann force-Pinors is related to the Majorana equations, which is also based on real spinors. And finally, it is shown that the original Dirac equation is a dislocation of. So, if everybody knows, I suppose, the Klein-Gordon equation, which is given by the second order in time and second order in space for x, y, and z, and a term which takes into account the mass. It comes from the energy square equal in momentum square plus mass square, the quantum relativistic equations. And the operator is the nabla, you know it's represented by second order with x, y, and z. Okay. So, as I work with discrete system, I transform the function phi in a quantity what's called q. And h is Planck constant and c is the speed of light and the mass. So here I wrote the Klein-Gordon equation with the q under this form. There is no change out. Now I write what I call the second order hyperincursive discrete Klein-Gordon equations. The first term here is in fact the second time derivative, but the characteristic of this discrete form is it is made by 2 delta t instead of delta t. And for the spatial dimension, here I begin with only 1 spatial dimension z, as presented in the preceding Vigier, and you have also the second order, which looks like for the time and for the space, with also 2 the interval of space. It is why it is called the second order. The first order, the 2 is reduced by 1. But in my theory of the discrete hyperincursive harmonic oscillators deals with the classical harmonic oscillators. And as you know, all algorithms which exist in the literature and in practice, no algorithm conserves the energy of the harmonic oscillator with 2 equations. And I found it published for the first time 4 or 5 years ago that we have the conservation of energy of the classical harmonic oscillator, but at the condition to have 4 equations. So we are obliged to have 4 initial conditions instead of 2, and it was relatively curious, but mathematically speaking, there is no as a way to resolve the problem of the conservation of energy for the classical harmonic oscillator. And what is, in fact, the miracle? For me, it was a miracle because my theory of empirical field discrete systems were just described classical system. In fact, the formulation with the four equations, discrete equation for the classical harmonic oscillator, represent in fact the four spinors, real spinors of the Majorana equation, directly from Newton. So now I replace I take Tk and k equal 0, 1, z n with n 0, 1, and I can represent the discrete equation by index n and k with integer value. In the one-dimensional system, this equation 9 bifurcates into two incursive equations for the discrete time k equal 1, 3, 5, and k equal page. Yes, okay. So this equation becomes like that, with we have n and k. And I say that these equations bifurcate into two incursive equations for the discrete time k equal 1, 3, 5 and k equal 0, 2, 4. It's due to the fact there are two delta t, and for two delta z you have and two incursive equations for the discrete space n 1, 3, 5 and n 0, 2, 4. So the wave function q bifurcates into four wave functions noted q1, q2, q3, q4. And you obtain the following four discrete space-time incursive equation of q1, q2, q3, and q4. This is not recursive function, but incursive function. Why? Because the order in which you compute the four equations is important. You cannot compute in the order you like. I will show you the next. And also the characteristic of this sort of discrete equation is the fact it is a system which is reversible discrete time. It means that you can make that all the paths can be found from the future because all these equations are fully reversible in time, but also reversible in space, x, y, and z. And in fact, all this is based on a theory of what is called the forward derivative and discrete also backward derivative in the framework of discrete systems. The Klein-Gordon is just for you. The Klein-Gordon equation with only the time variable is given by the second time derivative equal minus omega square q. If I suppress all the space variable, and the four equations are given by that without the space, and it represents exactly, if you replace Q1 and Q2, Q3 and Q3, the position and velocity of the classical harmonic oscillator, you have exactly the harmonic oscillator equations with the conservation of energy. This means that you have a conservation of the density of wave function in my formulation, discrete formulation of the Klein-Gordon equations. And just to show you why it is not a recursive system, because you have here, you see that it computes the first function at time is time 2 at position 1, and you need this position 1 Q1 in the second equation here, you have Q1, 1, 2, okay? And for here, you see that you have Q4, 2, 2. And 2, 4, 2, 2 is computed here. So you must compute 1, 2, 4, 3 in this order. And this is why it is called incursive. And there is another way to present also. So, in the recursive system, they are on order in which the equations are computed. Okay. Next. If I take from the discrete equation, I can compute the differential equations with when the dt, dx to dz tend to 0, and obtain these 4 partial differential equations with 4 wave functions. C is the velocity of light, and m is the mass, and h is the Planck constant. And I obtained, in fact, the 4 real spinors of Oort and Mann in 1 dimension. And this encouraged me to continue. So in the paper at BGA10, I arrived there, and now we will go to generalize this to the 3 spatial dimensions, x, y, and z. So for that, I use for the Klein-Gordon equation the formulation with x, y, and z. So there are two terms, and I made the same type of transformations. And the main point here, this sentence is important because this is the title of the paper. In fact, these equations, it begins with the preceding, but it's a generalization of what we have said. But as I said, when we have the time and only one space variable, like in the Oort-Mann, I have 4 differential equations or 4 discrete equations for describing the Klein-Gordon equations. But now I added the coordinate, the spatial coordinates y and x. So I have 2 new coordinates. And for each of these coordinates, it means that I have a bifurcation for each. For the time, I have already the 2, and for the z, the 2. As I shown, I have 4 equations. Now, if I add the x space, it's bifurcation by 2. So now it's 8 functions, 8 equations. And with the y space, I have bifurcation by 2 also. So the complete description of the Klein-Gordon equation in discrete form is given by 16 wave functions. And the 16-bit version, in fact, is 4 times 4 discrete wave functions. And in this paper, I will arrive to the conclusion of Majorana and Dirac with 4 equations for Majorana and 8 real equations for Dirac. But in the last section of the paper, and it is the continuation, it's the next paper I give tomorrow afternoon. For the numerical simulations, it's necessary to use 16 equations and not 4 of classically to be able to have the conservation of the density of probability and so on. And here I work only in real number until now, and there is no difficulties to add. It will be given tomorrow also the same equations but with imaginary number. So now and here it's the same as one spatial dimensions, and you see also there is a new characteristic here. It's the fact that it's our harmonic oscillator. We have 2 oscillators which are separate. The 2 first equations are separate of the 2 one. And now with 3 space, all the equations are linked together. So there are no more separation between the oscillators. So this means that equation 1 depends of 2, 3, and 4, because you see the Q1, Q2, but it depends also here, Q3 and Q4, with Q2 and Q3 you see it. So all equations are linked. They are no more separable. And now, in 3 spatial dimensions, we obtain these 4 partial differential equations with whatever x and y, which is added to the preceding case. So the generalization is kept here. And our real 4 spinors equations can be put in the generic form of the Dirac equations. So the first 2 equations, psi 1 and psi 2, can be put until the form of phi A and phi B, psi 3 and psi 4, and the 4 equations are given by these 2 with the real 2 spinor matrix, sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, which are with real numbers are related to the Pauli spin matrix. The sigma x of Pauli is my sigma 1, the sigma y of Pauli is my real sigma 2 multiplied by the imaginary number, and my sigma 3 is Pauli sigma z. And in defining now 4 spinors, I obtain these equations, and I can, with all 4 spinors matrix, which are real, with all these properties, and we multiplying by IH, we optimize this, in introducing the quantum 3 momentum vector P1, P2, P3 by my IH derivative by X, Y, and Z, we obtain this. So the real 4 spinors equation of MAM can be put in the generic form of the Dirac equation. This closes the first part, and I win 10 minutes, so now I'm at 2.5 2h30. So now we go to the second paper. 1 minute, I will search for part 2. I got, please. It is a prayer of the scientific.
So praying to the practice of God.
No. C'est tomorrow. Ah, le voilà. Part 2. Voilà. So, in what we have seen, we have generalized to 3 spatial dimensions, the one-dimensional Dubois-Horstmann real force-Pinot equations. And I say in this paper, but in this part, we consider the deduction of the Majorana real force-Pinot equations from our empirical second order discrete line closed relativity equations. And we start from what I call now, because I give names, otherwise, due to the fact that all was made during 2 years for these 2 papers today and tomorrow. It is completely original, and in fact, during these 2 years since the preceding Vigier, I worked on this theory, and what I present today, it my work during this last so, now I will speak about, I say, Dubois-Majorana for spinors in 1 spatial dimensions, which is similar to the Dubois-Horstmann equation in inversing the space variable y and z. It seems, curious, but when Hort presented his paper with the space variable z, I took the same variable z. And in fact, if you inverse in 3 spatial dimensions, y and z, you can see better all the properties of these equations. And you will see that we have directly the deduction of the Majorana real force spinors. And then you will have finally the Dirac equations will be given at the end of this part 2. And in fact, I was influenced also by Eliano Pessa. Perhaps you know this Italian mathematician from Roma. And he knew very well Majorana, and he was very preoccupied by a problem of the Majorana, what is called many things at the same time. La vie en rose. And in this paper, he explicitly, in fact, gives the original equation of Majorana, so I have obtained by my approach, discrete approach, exactly the same as the original Majorana. And Eliano Pessa says that many scientists around Majorana spoke about what is called the Majorana oscillator. And until now, nobody find an oscillator in the equation of Majorana. And in fact, myself, with the deduction of the Majorana equation, I started from the harmonic oscillator. So I see in all my historical way to describe from who I come and from where I will go. I maintain that the fact that the Majorana equations are composed in fact of two oscillators, like in the hyperacoustics classical oscillators. And I've resolved the problem of Pessa and for Pessa, I anticipate a little, but for Pessa and for Majorana, he presented his equation, the Majorana equation, in his last paper. It was in 1933, and he disappears, as you know, perhaps, we don't know. We don't know where he is. He was young, he was 35 or something like that. He disappeared completely, and it was his last paper. It was a genius. So now, I will present the computable hyperacoustic discrete Clapeyron equation. So it's the same, so I will not, I start from that. The Clapeyron, I just already told you what is it. Presented until the form you know. Now I use the Dubois-Majorana real spinor. So the four equations, discrete equations are here, which are the same as as it is noticed here, the same as the Dubois-Ortmann spinor, where the variable y was exchanged with the variable z. Next. And you have this, and it can be seen here because we are very near. So we call this the Dubois-Majorana discrete real for spinors equations because it comes from the harmonic oscillator in discrete form, and Majorana because this form is really exactly the same as the Majorana in making a slight modification. I have already made a modification of the variable z and y, but you will see. Surprise. In fact, if I change the index of the function, psi1, psi2, psi3, and psi4, and change the index in another order, I obtain, in fact, the Majorana equations. And I just say here that it is related to the harmonic oscillator, which was also applied to quantum harmonic oscillator. It works also. It's the same. And these equations are also reversible in space and time. And it is given here. And for example, I can the order in which the equations are computed are important. So when I take this equation, the same as the preceding one, the order in which you compute that is not your choice, but you are obliged to. So now I put the discrete functions tend to the continuous functions when the discrete space and time intervals tend to 0. So is the preceding is the discrete form. Now I take the dt, dx, dy, and dz tending to 0, and I obtain the differential equations. And obtain what I call the Dubois-Majorana discrete partial first order partial differential equation representing 4 real spinor equations. And you see here that the two oscillators, because you have psi1 and psi2 and psi1, psi3, psi4, psi4 and psi3. It is a characteristic of the first incursive oscillator and the second inclusive oscillator. So without the space variable, this gives still the harmonic, the discrete harmonic oscillator with the second derivative of time equal minus omega square function b of the Klein-Gordon equation without the spatial z. Voilà. And in the when one spatial dimensions, we have seen here, you see, it depends on 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. And you have this term in Z, which depends on 4 and 3, or this 2. And for this one, 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Here for Z, it depends on 1 and 2 here. And in the preceding model with Dubois-Portman, in fact, it's the same as this, but with the inversion of Y and Z. But in the Dirac theory, he considered his formulation of the spin along the Z component. Is the reason why I changed and I put also in the Z. And in fact, in these equations, which are real, there are no relations with Dirac equation until now. You see that the novelty is the fact that this oscillator is connected to this oscillator by the Z components. It means by the spin component, but it is not yet a spin because we are still in with real function and we are in the framework of the Majorana framework. And one thing which is interesting, and it was very mysterious in my classical harmonic oscillator with my 4 function and 2 oscillators, because I demonstrated and I work a lot with a professor in Canada which is called Adel Antipa, and we make 10 papers about the fundamental equations of the harmonic oscillator. And all what we have written, it is published in the American Institute of Physics Proceedings after my 10th Congress in Liège on computing anticipatory systems. And in fact, all the formulations we've made are directly applicable, and there are 200 or 300 pages of mathematical demonstration. Only with the time and for the space, we give exactly the same. And this means now that with Dubois-Majorana represent in fact 2 coupled or entangled spatial harmonic oscillators. I say oscillators because when the component Z is uniform, it disappears, and the Z component apparently represents a relativistic part. And if I speak about oscillators, it refers to Majorana oscillator and Pesa, who never found. This equation written like that can be put also under the form of generic form of the Dirac equations. Formally is the same, except that the alpha here are all real. Now, the miracle begins. 2 miracles. The first one is the fact that I will write the Majorana 4 spin-offs in another order. I will use 4, 2, 1, 3 in this order, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. In the order 1, 2, 3, 4, you see very well the two oscillators. The first one, because it is, and when I mix like that, it's more difficult to see. But in fact, there is an oscillator who the 2 is with the 2 there, 1, 1, and the 4 with the 4, 3, 3. And in fact, PESA, notice that. You notice that the first and last equation together, without the relativistic part, it means, he says, the spatial part, is an oscillator, and you have a second oscillator. But what is interesting, in fact, is the fact that the spatial that mixed. Perhaps I forgot to tell you something, because it was also very curious for the classical harmonic oscillator with 2 sub-oscillators. It is the fact that the second oscillator is the time reverse of the first one, even for the Newtonian systems. And in fact, when you write an equation, the Newton equation of the harmonic oscillator, say derivative by t square. And when it is t square, it means that you must take into account the positive time as a negative time, plus t and minus t. And in discrete form, to go from the past to the future to the past. In quantum system and so on, it represents particle and antiparticle, if you like. Then all go from the past to the future, in this case. An electron from the future to the past is a positron, and you can consider a positron directly a particle of charge +1 going from the past to the future. All the physics, even with system with mixed past, future, past, you can transform it only with system which goes from the past to the future for all, in defining good properties and the good name of particles and so on. So now, if I change psi tilde now, I name it Majorana function 1, the second, 3, and 4. And these 4 Majorana equations are related. Psi 1 is the psi 4, the psi 2 is psi 2, the psi 3 of Majorana is my psi 1, and the psi 4 is to obtain the original Majorana equation in the same form as PESA noticed that in his paper. So this means that this doesn't change anything to change the name of the wave functions. But if I like to demonstrate strictly that my initial system is really the Majorana function, I show you by these transformations. And you obtain these 4 equations. And it is the original for Majorana real equations. And you look in the paper of PESA, who know very well Majorana, and in the paper of PESA, it is equation 4A, B, C, and D, which are completely identical to the equation and deduced from the discrete harmonic oscillator. And the Dubois-Majorana discrete real four-spinor equation show explicitly that the Majorana equation is in fact composed of a discrete hyperacusive spatial oscillator entangled to a spatial harmonic anti-oscillator related to the particle electron and antiparticle positron in the equation of Majorana, because the title of the paper of Majorana speaks about electron symmetrical study of electron and positron. So the electron and positron are in the same equations. And it is what I forgot to tell you. Even in my equation, it's like that. Just tell you the fact as for the harmonic oscillator, as for the Dubois mark, and this one. In fact, written like that, there is the first oscillator, which is given by psi 1 and psi 2, and you have the second oscillator given by psi 3 and psi 4. And what is the relations between two is in fact that this oscillator is the same as this oscillator in reverse time. It is the anti-oscillator. And in the paper of Majorana, when he speaks of electron and positron, in fact, he says that there are two functions of these four functions which are related to the electron and to the positron. But what is very interesting, in fact, and very curious, and perhaps it will give an answer to Dirac. When you speak about a particle as with a spin, what happened is that the two oscillators or particles and antiparticles, are linked by this partial component. This means that for describing a particle, at the same time you describe the antiparticle. And it is linked in it. It is in it. There is only one particle which is composed of both. They are not an electron and a positron. All electrons are positrons at the same time, in view of this equation, with a spin. And perhaps this which is the difficulty to understand what is spin. And so, now I will arrive to Dirac. I have still 7 minutes, I'm in time. First, to show that the Majorana oscillator, if I take the Majorana equations and I just suppress the spatial variable, and you obtain that. And it is exactly the same as the classical harmonic oscillator, but you have two oscillators. And you see, you have one oscillator and the same oscillator with chain of time. Okay? And it is exactly this. And I work still 25 years about the classical hyperrecursive harmonic oscillators with the demonstrations that I have with 4 equations, and it is the sole solution to have the conservation of energy in discrete form of the harmonic oscillator, which is important in physics. This is the most fundamental systems, the harmonic oscillator. And why it is necessary to have 4? Because it is a quadratic function. For quadratic functions, the minimum of equations for having a conservation, and here I can demonstrate, because it's taking exactly what we have made for the harmonic oscillator, because for the harmonic oscillator, psi 1 is the position and psi 4 is the velocity, position velocity, but now it will be with wave function in real or imaginary part, as I will show. Then we can see that in fact for having the conservation of energy, this means that in quantum systems you must have the wave function. For example, you take the electron and you see, I would like to conserve the density of the probability of the electron, and in fact the conservation of the probability is given, as you know, by the notification of stars. multiplication of the wave function multiplied by psi stars. Psi stars is to change the imaginary number by minus I. And in making that, you know that it represents the antiparticle and not. So it's the reason why here, for the conservation here, you have the anti. Here, the psi 2, in fact, it's the psi 1 star. But here we are a clear number. And physicists, until now, until today, doesn't know what to do with the equation of Majorana. They don't know what to do with that. I hope that for the next conference in Paris, I will give you an answer to that. I have some ideas, but there are difficulties to find a physical application of the equation of Majorana. And some say that perhaps it can resolve the problem of dark matter. But each time we have a new theory, we do not know what to do with. He says, "Oh, we will resolve the problem of dark matter or dark energy or so on." And in fact, they said also some physicists said that the Majorana equation could describe correctly the neutrino if the neutrino has a mass. It's no mass, it doesn't work, but with a mass, the neutrino can be described by the Majorana equation. So it left me 4 minutes, and now the second miracle will arrive. From the Majorana equations, I make first a simple transformation. Yes, perhaps I will tell you that. In theoretical physics, in mathematical physics, physicists like to work with matrix and so on, and it is well known that we can transform the Dirac equations to the Majorana equations with unitary and so on matrix at the left and the right and so on. And when we make that, I can make that also, but I understand nothing about the physical meaning of what I am doing. So it's the reason why I present here a very intuitive approach, and it was the way step by step, how I arrived to the Dirac equation from the classical harmonic oscillator, but I could make this paper in 2 pages with matrix, but then perhaps we do know more, understand something. So now, and in the Majorana equation here, I inverse the space. It means that I just change x1, x2, and x3 by the inverse. So it was plus, 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 minus, minus, plus, 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 minus, plus, minus. I just change the sign, the parity change. Then I define 2 Spinors real functions, psi 1, psi 2, psi 3, psi 4. And this gives this form, the 2 equations in phi A and phi B. Phi B, phi A, phi A, phi B, phi B, phi A, phi B, phi A. Okay? With real with the real spinors sigma 1, sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, and to eternity. And in fact, I was interested and curiously when I wrote these equations, I say I have my sigma 1 with x1, I sigma 3 with x3, And I have here the sigma 0 with the sigma 2. Sigma 0 is intensity. And sigma 2 with here. Or it would be better as for symmetry to have sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, and sigma 0 here. And a few months ago, I make a dream. I'm not president, but I make a dream. I say, why do not inverse, as I inverse the x and y I can inverse psi 2 and psi 0, psi 0, psi 2. Simply inverse. It will change just the order in which these functions. It will give the sign and the order in which. So it means that 4, 3, 1 will begin here in the here, and minus, plus, minus, plus here, and vice versa. Plus, plus, and minus, minus, and psi 1, psi 2, psi 3, and psi 4. Okay, you understand what I mean? When I say inverse the two columns. Yes. Yes. But there is a big problem. You know why? Oh. You will know.
There's a sign.
Yes. The square of sigma 2 is negative. And if I put it, it means in the Klein-Gordon equations, it will mean that the component of y will be minus the derivative by y squared. And in the mass, change of sign also, because the sigma 1 square is positive, so it will mean that the mass will change of sign and so on. And one interesting thing also, so it is necessary to multiply by sigma 2. In fact, there are 3 matrices here until now. All the papers until the beginning, until just after it will be in imaginary number. All is real. And you know that sigma 2 written like that, what is said is it? It's an imaginary number. The square of sigma 2 is minus 1. It is the imaginary number which is given in real form. So, with the version of sigma 0 and sigma 2, introducing the product by minus sigma 2, the function bifurcates to two functions. So if I multiply by sigma 2, this means that the functions becomes two functions. And I obtain minus sigma 2 of CUG. No, the Majorana, the four functions of Majorana, 1, 2, 3, 4, are separated in two with the same index G and an index 1 and 2, which will represent in fact the real and imaginary part. Because in fact, when you start from real systems to imaginary systems, there is people very often believe that there is no drastic change. In fact, there is, each time you go from a real world to the complex world, you have a bifurcation process when all is divided by 2. And it is fundamental. But in working with complex number, we don't see that in general, and it is a pity. So, and now I'm defining the wave function psi j by G1 plus I psi G2 with the imaginary member from the Majorana equations, I obtain the four fundamental equations and the original equation of Dirac. And you see, I speak about psi 1, psi 2, psi 3, psi 4 at the go, and here, 4 croix de A, the sign minus, minus, plus, 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 minus, and you have just I here and I here. And in the paper of tomorrow, I will give this equation in real forms. It means that it is with 8 equations, because with imaginary number. And so you can see that, in fact, the Dirac equations and the Majorana equations are linked very intimately each other, with the fact that one is the bifurcation of the others, passing from the completely real world to a complex world. And tomorrow you will have the following of my speculation. Thank you for attention.
So if there's a very quick question or two, otherwise we will...
It took less than
Well, you're okay, you took it out.
Exactly
an hour. But,
yeah.
okay. There's no immediate questions. We'll perhaps save questions till the second paper when we get the full story.
I will be here all the week. And if you like to ask me something, there's no problem. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. And if I wanted to ask if tomorrow I can show you, because I have a lesson here, but if it interests you, I can show the numerical simulation of the harmonic oscillator to show you how simple is it and the conservation of energy, because in the final paper here, I will make that with the Dirac and Majorana equation. I will give simulations to show the conservation of the density. So tomorrow, I will show for the simple case the temporal development. If you agree, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Usually, voilà.
People find that very stimulating.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Yeah, I wrote this one.
This
one is my invention.
yes. Oh,
Yeah,
you take a patent.
Yeah, I was taking.
Yeah, please take a patent.
We need to move. Is it, how long is it? It's okay. Look at it, it works.
Yes, it should work. Yeah, it's okay.